Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by Zach Parker. How are you doing today, Zach?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just ticking over really. Been to the track this morning with all the BCB lads. A couple of lads got some big fights coming up. Tyler Denny, obviously he's got a big fight with Hamza Shraz. So yeah, we're all looking good to be fair.
Yeah, we'll get into Tyler's fight and a few others in a bit, but for yourself, out a few couple of months back now against Jack Arnfield, back in the winning column. But
Yeah,
exciting to get back and sort of push on to those big fights later in the year now.
yeah, that's it. Obviously got a good win. Got my name back out there. Hopefully there'll be something come off it. You see all these big cards at Riyadh, and then obviously I want to be a part of them. These big cards. So yeah, hopefully it'll put some people on notice.
How do you reflect on that performance, sort of looking back at it? Because it had obviously been quite a bit time out the ring. You're now working up towards light heavyweight, coming up from super middle. You happy
Yeah.
with how it all went?
Yeah. Obviously got a good win. It's obviously still in between the super middle and light heavy. So yeah, it's good to keep getting at it. I need to be more active. I've said this to obviously my trainers, manager, and obviously promoter. When I'm more active, I'm a better fighter. And you've seen it down. People have seen it down the lines. When I first went with Frank, I was out like four or five times, and I was blowing everyone out there, blowing everyone away really. So yeah, like I say, it's just keep getting me out there. I'll keep putting W's on my record.
How difficult is it to sort of manage the time when you're not being as active? I guess when you are fighting three, four, five times a year, all
Yeah,
you're thinking about is camp fight, camp fight. When you're not, is it
yeah,
harder to focus?
that's it. Yeah, obviously, when you don't know if you're getting the date or not, it's hard to keep motivated. Like you don't want to just keep going to like the gym ain't around the corner for me either. I live like an hour away from my gym, so me traveling there back and forth, obviously wasting fuel money and everything. And we only get if I only get 3 fights a year, then it goes quick. This money does. So yeah, obviously, you just got to keep staying motivated. You know, there's going to be some big fights. I'm just on the cusp of some big fights, especially a lot of there's a lot of good fights out there, especially in Britain. All the British lads, there's a lot of good fights. So yeah, obviously, just got to stay ready, and something will come up.
I was going to say it's a packed division, especially domestically, and I'm sure that was sort of part of the thinking to get those big fights when you did move up. Um,
Yeah.
how how much of a goal is it to get something big in towards the end of the year?
Yeah, I've said to obviously all my team, I want another title now. I don't want to keep fighting just 10 rounds and nothing come of it. Like I want to be, I think I've been ranked in the last few fights, but I want to get these titles and show what like this. The normal boxing fan, they love to see people have titles, don't they? They don't just have these like just wins under your car. So yeah, I want a really big fight towards this end of the year. Yeah, it'd be a good little Christmas present to myself.
Absolutely. You mentioned Tyler Denny earlier on
Yeah.
in the interview. Obviously, he's got his big fight at Wembley with Hamza Shiraz in 3 weeks or so's time. You've obviously shared a little bit of time with him in the camp. How's he looking?
Yeah, he's looking really good to be fair. It's probably the best camp he's ever had. He's absolutely shredded at the minute. But yeah, it's a hard task at hand. Obviously, Hamza Shraz is a really good fighter, tall, rangy, and he can punch a bit. But every time they've always put him in these hard fights, and guess what he does? He keeps winning. So yeah, hopefully he pulls it off. Obviously, co-main event, don't get much bigger in this, especially without the card. It's a massive card as well at Wembley. We're fighting in front of, I think is it almost 95,000 now they've sold. So
96,000, I think. Yeah.
96, yeah. So you don't get much bigger than that, do you? It's a co-main event. So yeah, is looking good. It's just finishing his training off, and hopefully he gets the win.
Against Hamza Shiraz, obviously a very tall, rangy middleweight, but packs a lot of power as well. What do you think that Tyler needs to do to sort of balance the scales in his favour in that fight?
Yeah, obviously it's an hard fight because he's gonna have to keep getting in. There's obviously a lot smaller, it's a lot smaller in reach as well. So he's just got to do what he always does. He puts his 100% into it, and just gets stuck in. That's it. Most of his fights are like really exciting fights. So I just see more of the same. He's just going to go for it, and whatever happens, happens.
Another fight on that card that I'm sure will take a bit of interest for yourself is Joshua Buatsi and Willy Hutchinson.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight playing out, first of all?
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. To be fair, obviously, Willie had a good win against Craig Richards. A bit of an aging Craig Richards, but yeah, nonetheless a really good win. And obviously, Buatsi's not really put a foot wrong, really. And I see it being a really good fight. I probably see Buatsi probably going to get a late stoppage just through experience. And he's been light heavy for quite a bit now, and really's only just come up, really, hasn't he? So, but we never know. This is boxing, isn't it? So anything can happen. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight for the fans.
We mentioned these names like Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yard. We don't know quite not what's going on with him at the moment. Are these
Yeah,
the real names that you want so you can make a statement in the light heavyweight division and
yeah,
show that
100%.
you're ready
These
for
are
it?
these are such big names, like especially profile. You don't get much bigger than Anthony Yard. He's been was it 3 world title fights? So yeah, he's always just come up short every time. So yeah, someone like him would be a good fight for me. I don't know what's going on with obviously all the legal issues with them in Queensbury. I've not really heard much of it for a few months now. So yeah. But yeah, another one, Buatsi, another good fight. I fought in the amateurs as well. I got stopped on a cut on the last round, and I was pretty much up on every round. So it happens in boxing though. So yeah, any of these fights will be good.
What's the difference for you preparing and sort of cutting weight for light heavyweight as opposed to when you're at super middle?
Yeah, obviously, I don't really blow up too much from between fights. Like I can still, if there's big fights like at super middle, I'd take it with both hands. But at the minute, everything's a bit old and a bit getting held up by Canelo and that. And if he relinquishes all the belts, there's a lot more opportunity down there. But with him got all the belts, there ain't many big money fights and big fights so like the UK fans can get excited about. So yeah, there's a lot more light heavies at British, all the British names at light heavy. There's a big list of it. So yeah, it's just if I did stay at super middle, I'd probably be boxing over in America because that's where all the big names are at super middle. But yeah, when I'm making weight light heavy, obviously it's going to be a lot easier than super middle. But I can still make super middle if there's a big fighter.
Yeah, talking about Canelo Alvarez, he's obviously got his fight coming up with Edgar Berlanga. He's been in that mandatory position for a little while
Yeah,
now. Is it a fight that sort of gets you interested at all, or do you just see it balancing the way of Canelo?
I see Canelo probably stopping him. I do is obviously he ain't had loads of experience at top level. Blangain and he's still young, really. He ain't too old, is he? So yeah, he's still got a lot of time on his hands. But yeah, I just see more experience and bigger puncher in Canelo, and yeah, he's a lot smarter than what other people think. Especially, I think he likes being the smaller man, but like, obviously more stockier, but the smaller man because he likes getting inside. And he works well on the outside as well against these tall fighters. Seen against obviously Callum Smith and that. So yeah, but I just see Canelo. He probably an easy win for him to fair.
Is it frustrating seeing the way that Canelo's career has gone in the last 12 months or so, fighting the likes of Berlanga? I know Diego Pacheco got a win at the weekend, has been mentioned, but
Yeah,
we're not seeing the big fights, the likes of the Benavides, even someone like a Terence Crawford. Those fights aren't happening.
yeah. Obviously, with the Terence Crawford, I think it's just the Saudis want this fight because it's obviously two massive names. I think it might be a couple weights above what Terence Crawford should be at, really. But yeah, obviously his big fights. Benavides, he's moved up to light heavy. That's another big fight out there, especially for me. It's a bit frustrating when you see like lots of Belanga. He ain't been mandatory for too long, and I was in mandatory position for 3 years, and I still didn't get my shot. So but it all swings and roundabouts in this boxing game. Obviously, we're all just a piece of meat and a little cog in the cog in the big wheel. So yeah, my time will come, and there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of big fights happening in a minute. Just get another win towards the end of the year, and then I can push on.
We've got a fight at the top of the bill in the light heavyweight division coming up in October, of course, with Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, a fight that we've obviously waited for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Just wondering how you see that playing out and what are the advantages and disadvantages for each fighter.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. Obviously, I think Bivol, I think he's a younger lad. Obviously, he got a good win against Canelo, yeah. But I feel it being a good fight. They're both never in like proper boring fights, are they? He got a good stoppage there. Bivol did in the last fight as well. So yeah, he might want to try and trade with what's his name? Beterbiev, yeah, but I won't like to be trading with him. That's one thing. Especially, what is he? Almost 40 as well, but he's still in great nick. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Especially all the fans have been wanting it for a long time as well. So yeah, all the belts on the line, soon to be undisputed.
How do you think the age and an injury that Beterbiev has suffered as well could affect going into that fight? As you say, you think he's 39 years of age now.
Yeah. What did he get injured? What was it again?
I think it might have been a back injury.
Really? Yeah, I think he'll be fine off that. Obviously, he'll be in there with the top physios and doctors and that. So yeah, when you're at the top level, you always little things play their part really. But yeah, he's always in good nick. He's been world champion for so long now. I'm sure he ain't going to go into the biggest fight of his career still injured. So yeah, I don't really see the injury coming into play. Obviously, he's getting on a bit now, 39, 40. But yeah, that just shows he's still very experienced. And you see the likes of what's his name? He was like 50. He was like every 50. Oldest world champion. Biop. Ben Hopkins. Ben Hopkins. He was like 50 and he was still world champion. So you know what I mean? If you keep yourself in good nick like you're supposed to being a boxer and that, you should be fine.
You won't still be going at 50, will you?
I hope not. I want to be retired next couple of years, really. But yeah, it's a lot of boxers they last to like 30, 36, 37, something like that. Still got another 7, 8 years of me. So we'll see. See what comes back. I might win a Euro Millions tomorrow, so I don't need to.
A fight we're seeing on the undercard of Bivol and Beterbiev is Ben Whittaker against Liam Cameron. He's obviously been making waves in that division, but it's a real step up in the opposition for Whittaker. How do you see him dealing with Liam Cameron?
Yeah, I don't really know too much about Liam Cameron, but he didn't really put a foot wrong yet, Whittaker ain't. Yeah, I probably see him just getting the win, really. He's done what he's done for obviously all these other opponents. Obviously not at the top level. They're obviously all just there to turn up. So, but yeah, I just see him getting another win, really, and he'll move on to hopefully some sort of title, maybe. It'd probably be good for him to go to the British route like most of us do.
Do you think the showboating and all that we're seeing, do you think when he does step up the levels and he reaches that British level and beyond, there won't be a time where it catches up with him?
Yeah, it could do. You won't be able to do it against more experienced lads. So yeah, probably when he gets steps up, he probably won't be doing it as much and maybe one here and there, but it's a bit different when you're in with these top lads who can punch a lot. You know what I mean? When you got M10-ounce gloves on and you get it on the whiskers. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, I think he'll get a win this next fight, and then maybe from some sort of like international title, or he could go on to British.
If Ben Whittaker was in the opposite corner to yourself and he was doing what he's been doing in his previous fights, how would you feel about it?
Yeah, I doubt if you're doing it. We've sparred quite a bit, so I'm sure he'll be on his A game. You know what I mean?
Give us a taste
obviously, I'm at the minute he's only just coming up. Really, I'm looking for these bigger fights. Like I said, I want to make enough money for my family, and that's what that don't really make enough money for what I'm thinking of. I want these world title fights, obviously, likes of Buatsi and Bivol and Beterbiev. So yeah, Like I say, everyone's got to earn the stripes first, and then when we're like up there, maybe it could happen.
Did he do any of that in the sparring that you shared with him?
No, no,
No,
no.
fair enough. Another name that's on that card is Chris Eubank Jr., making his return against Kamil Seremata.
Right.
Pretty underwhelming
I didn't
opponent.
even know it was boxing. To be fair, I ain't seen nothing of it.
Yeah.
I thought obviously I think he's been over to America a lot, hasn't he? So obviously he'll probably doing a lot of press over there. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know the other lad to be fair. He'll probably just come back, get another win. And he's trying. I think he was trying to get the Canelo fight at some point, weren't he? So I think that's probably what he's aiming for. There's obviously a bit of talk with him going against the winner of Hamza Shiraz and Tyler. So yeah, there's a lot of big fights high at middleweight, but I think his time at middleweight is coming to an end a bit. He's getting on a bit now. It's not easy when you're getting older to make this weight all the time. It drains you. It does. So yeah, if he does come up super middle, I'd be willing to come down. And we'll have it off him.
I was going to say, we talked earlier about the super middleweight fights that would really excite you. Would that be one
Yeah,
you'd be willing to cut
100
the weight for?
100%. Yeah. Obviously, my last few fights, they've not even been too far from super middle. I've been 12-3, 12-4. It's only a few pounds. So yeah, if that got presented to me, I'd take it with both hands.
How would you see that fight playing out between yourself and Chris?
I just think I'm too big, too strong, and I've been boxing all my life. I know the ins and outs of boxing. I'm in the amateurs. I won like 5 or 6 national titles, and yeah, I just see me winning. Especially him coming up from middleweight. It's a big difference. He's been at super middleweight before, and he lost to George Groves, an aging George Groves as well. So yeah.
It's said that Eubank has rejected a fight with Denzel Bentley. He's rejected a fight with Hamza Shiraz. Do you think he would take a fight with you?
Is rejected the fight with me before when I used to box when I used to be under Silence night. I think it was twice that he tried to make it and it didn't nothing come of it. So yeah. No, I think he just wants the big money fights now. I think that's what it's about. He's trying to get his Canelo money. So yeah, he'll probably reject it as well, probably.
No, we'll see. Well,
That's the thing with boxing. It's all about the money, innit? And everyone wants the look when Floyd Mayweather was boxing. Everyone wanted the Floyd Mayweather fight. He's the cash man. So in a minute, it's Canelo.
yeah. And these big Saudi cards as well, I'm sure they're a big aim for yourself to
Yeah,
get in a
hundred
position
percent,
where you're on these shows.
100%. The side is doing a lot for boxing at the minute. Obviously, you see all the promoters working together on the same cards, and obviously these massive fights are getting made. So you can't thank them enough because it's been a long time coming. Really, I think boxing's going a bit boring over things. Everyone's just fighting. All the promoters just fighting each other, their own stables. Now everyone's getting mixed in. You see the likes of obviously Fury and Joshua might get made soon as well after Fury beats Usyk again. So yeah, there's a lot of big fights out there, and yeah, on these red cards, I'm definitely aiming for me.
Right. Fingers crossed that we can get that fight over the line. And yeah, when we do get one lined up, we'll have it on the
So
channel again.
got my first fight soon now. That's my wedding, my first fight soon. So get that out of the way, get that little scrap out of the way now. Now I can aim for something.
You don't have to cut weight for that one.
That's it.
All right. Cheers for your time, Zach.
All right. Cheers, pal.